Hey guys, Game Prime here, and what you see here is a full 285 plus collection of Nintendo Power. It is a full collection that I've been putting together for almost 4 years now. It has taken me so long to get every single issue, and I'm just so happy I could, get it all together and I could finally show it off. So that's what I'm going to be doing here today. I'm going to be talking about my collection, tips on collecting, how I put it together, my favorite issues, a little stuff about the magazine, and then a big surprisement right at the end. So Nintendo Power debuted in 1988 with this issue right here with the Super Mario Bros. 2 cover. I obviously not born in 88. I started collecting way later when I was a little kid. I had some issues growing up, but I did not have all of them, and I only found them in grocery stores. I was never subscribed to them actually through the subscription where you get them in the mail every month. But somewhere along the way, years back, I lost almost every one of my magazines and issues, so I had to start fresh. So in September 2017, I started putting this together. I found a bunch of issues at flea market that I go to, and that's kind of what really kicked off the collection. But it's taken me from September 2017. That's thunder. That's not good. Anyway, it's taken me from September 2017 to July 2021 to get this full collection going, and it's something I'm proud of, something that I've been working towards for a very long time. So yeah. So altogether there are 285 issues in a complete Nintendo Power collection, and in mine there were 285 issues published, from going from 1988 to December 2012. The first issue being Super Mario Bros. 2, you see here with Mario and Wart on the cover, and then the final issue, December 2012, in homage to the first issue, with Mario and Bowser promoting New Super Mario Bros. U. So there are actually a lot of cover variants if you're going for what I call a full collection, and I'm just going to list them off here. Issue 80 has 2 covers, issue 92 has 4 covers, issue 120 has 4 covers as well, issue 126 has 2 covers, issue 128 has 2 covers, issue 143 has 3 covers, issue 177 has 4 covers, issue 215 has 2 covers, and then in issue 222 they started doing subscriber and newsstand variants, meaning if you were a subscriber, you got a different cover than what would be in a retail store. So going from issue 222 to 285, the final issue, there were subscriber and newsstand editions. And then on top of that, issue 264 and 282 also had 2 different covers. And then eventually, once there were enough issues made where a subscription could run out, they had these little stickers on the cover that would tell you if it's your last issue or not. I have a couple of these. You could see them right here. They're more harder to find, and I'm not sure after what issue it actually started, but I'm going to say anywhere in the 1990-1991 range. So altogether, this is a rough estimate, but there's roughly 371 magazines in a total collection. And that's a lot, going from just having every single issue, and then every variant, every, cover for the issues. Also, Nintendo Power was a very interesting way to look at games that were currently in development before, the internet was a thing. So you could see games transform from early development all the way up to the final release of them. Some of my favorite things in any of the magazines are to look at games that were canceled or drastically changed in development, like 12 Tales Conquer 64 or Conquer's Quest, that obviously turned into Conquer's Bad Fur Day, which actually did not see a Nintendo Power feature until way later in its life cycle. You could see the magazine right here with a little insert of Conquer's Bad Fur Day in it. This was the first time Conquer's Bad Fur Day was actually acknowledged by Nintendo Power ever. So there are a handful of important issues in the lifespan of Nintendo Power. I just made a list of what I feel like are some of the most important ones. So, and I'm gonna highlight them right here, obviously, and show you a little bit about them, you know, open them up. Not going full in-depth in the magazine, but just, you know, giving you guys a glimpse of what was in it and what they showed. So, obviously, Volume 1, the first issue, very important. It showed Super Mario Bros. 2. You know, they were in what I would say the middle of the NES's lifespan. So they're highlighting a bunch of, you know, very popular games now, and it was just iconic. And you know, there's nothing much more to say other than it had a great first issue. You know, there was a lot of stuff in there that over the course of time, you know, just made history, and it's very historic, and it's a very awesome thing for any Nintendo fan to have in their collection. In Volume 7, the Game Boy got introduced. In Volume 25, the Super Nintendo got introduced. In Volume 68, the magazine got its first logo change to gold. Volume 75 was the debut of the Virtual Boy. Volumes 79, 80, and 85 all introduced the Nintendo 64 to the world. Volume 100 for obviously being Volume 100. Insert of some of the issues from years past, and then also in here they had their 100 best games of all time, and you could take a look at the list here. Kind of goes from number 1 all the way to number 100. I don't know why it didn't go backwards. And then here are the 10 worst games of all time. Number 1 goes to Bebe's Kids. And then also on the page numbers, there are different issues corresponding with what page it is, up to 100, obviously. Volume 110 is the 10th anniversary of the magazine, as stated on the corner there. probably the only time you'll see Owen Hart, Mario, and Banjo-Kazooie and James Bond on the same page. And then it kind of goes over a little history of the magazine, what it's been up to in the last 10 years. And then you'll see a lot of the games they covered there in each of the years. Very cool. Like some of the premiere issues, the really good ones to look at. Kind of like what I'm doing here now. Very cool. In volume 137, the GameCube is introduced in here. Also has a nice Sabrina's Abra card, which was pretty cool. Sometimes they included Pokemon cards in there. This was one I got lucky with and still have it. And then here's the GameCube reveal right after E3 2001, I believe, or E3 2000. And then it also showed the Game Boy Advanced as well. And then in issue 143, we got the second logo change, going from gold to white. And it also featured the launch of the Game Boy Advance. And then in issue 181, the Nintendo DS was revealed. It took place right after E3 2004, as you could see right here with this little feature. Shows the DS, or what it looked like when they first revealed it. And then also games that they revealed alongside it as well for the GameCube, like Metroid Prime 2 Echoes and Paper Mario 2, later to be known as Thousand Year Door. And then in this issue 193, it got its third logo change, which was the final logo that it used. And then in 198, the Wii got revealed, or at least the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, or at least what it looked like to begin with. It was very different looking than what it turned out to be. And you can see in here the little feature article on it, and then a good look of the prototype Wii Remote and Nunchuck. Very different than what we got. This is issue 200, not as big as issue 100, but it came with this cool Smash Bros. Poster that I really liked. And then in 205, the Wii got revealed fully, and it goes in-depth about it. Also, the DS Lite got revealed as well. And then here's the big article, Blowout on the Wii, explaining everything. Issue 231 is the 20th anniversary issue, featuring Mad World on the cover. And then there's also this 20 Years of Nintendo Power magazine that I got. It might have came with this, but I'm not entirely sure. This is issue 265, featuring the launch of the 3DS. And here's the article on it, all about it. It's crazy that this was over 10 years ago now. And then, of course, the final issue, with Mario and Bowser on the cover, featuring New Super Mario Bros. U. So now I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite issues. Obviously, right here we have Super Mario Bros. 2, the first issue. It was, you know, what started everything off. This once again has two copies, the free sample copy and the free poster copy, or poster included copy, my bad. This is the only one I have now. I scored this for about $9 on eBay, and it's one of my prized possessions of the collection, even though it's in horrendous shape. Alright, just gonna go over a couple more issues I really like. Right here we got Yoshi's Island. It was one of the first magazines I collected. Same with Super Mario RPG. So these have meaning to me just for the collection's sake. And then same with this one right here, Super Mario 64. This one's volume 8 or issue 85. This one's issue 88. And I like it too because it is kind of two-sided, as the back of the magazine spreads out featuring Mario swinging Bowser. And I just really love the design of it. 109 featured Banjo-Kazooie. This was one of the issues I got years ago, but I lost. Zelda Ocarina of Time, issue 114. I really like this cover. It's very shiny, very glossy compared to the others. It's also the biggest issue, I believe, that they ever done, because the spine is freaking ridiculously huge. Banjo-Tooie was also one that I had when I was younger, and I lost them probably about 10 years ago. Same with Paper Mario, and I love this cover. Paper Mario is one of my favorite games of all time, and it's just a joy to have this cover in full. Same with Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door. I remember getting this one when I was very little, around 5 years old. And the cool thing about it is when you open it up, there's a little note from Princess Peach, probably from the start of the game, where, you know, she says she found a treasure in Rogueport, and you gotta go meet her over there. And if you rip the poster out, it's actually a map of Rogueport, which I used to just play with and adventure with all the time when I was little. Right here is another one of my favorite covers, Pokemon Emerald. I just love the design of it. And it also has this glossy feeling on it because the next issue was the logo change and the publisher change, so they kept that design for it. And then finally, New Super Mario Bros. I just remember reading this one in specific a lot when I was younger. Now, I'm going to tell you guys what I believe to be the most expensive issues. Issue 1's obviously the most expensive one that you'll probably get. In really good condition, it can go anywhere between $400 to $500. Issue 2 as well can go for $80 or $90. This one I got for a really good steal. Same with this issue 3 I got for a really good steal as well, but could still go for $80 or $90 into the early hundreds. Issue 114 can go for around $40 because it was the biggest issue and has one of the best games ever on it. Same with Zelda Majora's Mask, just because it's Zelda, they both go for around $40 each. Issue 173 can go for a lot of money if it has this Eon ticket in it, which you could use in Pokemon Ruby or Sapphire. And this is what the Sapphire or the Eon ticket looks like. If you get that, it's worth a lot of money. Ocarina of Time 3D as well. That one can go for anywhere between $20 to $30, I believe. And then 284 and the final issue, of course, because they are the last ones that they did, go around $40 to $50 each for 284. I have this one sealed. This was the newsstand one that I have sealed, and it's awesome to have. The final issue can go anywhere between $80 to $120, depending on what one you get, if it's complete, still in the wrapper, or loose, you know, out of the package. So, of course, Nintendo Power was the most influential gaming magazine, I would say, of all time. But before that, they had the Nintendo Fun Club news, where it was kind of like Nintendo Power. It still told you about games coming out and stuff, but it was very uncommon unless you were really into games and into Nintendo in the 80s. But when they switched over to Nintendo Power, you could find it almost anywhere. They also did the Nintendo Power Advance side series, which I believe there are 4 to 5 issues of, just stuff covering the Game Boy Advance, really. In January 2013, Nintendo Force magazine was created, continuing the legacy, quote-unquote, of the Nintendo Power magazines. This magazine is kind of fan-made, as in it's not official by Nintendo, but the founder of it is an IGN editor, Lucas M. Thomas. He just wanted to continue the legacy of Nintendo Power. I don't collect these currently, but I may in the future because it's continuing the legacy of my favorite magazine. And if you guys want to subscribe to Nintendo Force, you could always go on their website. I believe they have a bunch of back issues and stuff, and you could get, your yearly subscription there. They're still making them. I don't think they have any intent of slowing down. It is also bi-monthly, unlike Nintendo Power where it was monthly, after the first couple issues, of course. And then there was also Pocket Power, which was a magazine that they created specifically for the release of the film The Wizard, which was notable for the first footage, or world premiere footage, of Super Mario Bros. 3. So if you guys are looking to build your own Nintendo Power collection like mine, and you're wondering where to start, you could start practically anywhere. You could grab any issue and then build, around it. Just grab various ones at any point. You can go for some of the higher priced ones first, just to nail them out of the way, and then go to like retro game stores, find a bunch of other ones. eBay's always a decent place to go. That's where I got most of mine from. But like I said before, I got a lot of these from a flea market that I paid a decent price for a bulk of them. eBay was a lot of it, and then a retro game store close to me called Kill Screen Games. Tag will be right here. Huge thanks to everybody there for helping me put this together, because they really helped me get a good bulk of these issues as well. But yeah, eBay is probably the most decent place to go, other than your local retro game store looking for any of these. Obviously, the first 5 issues are going to be the hardest ones and the most pricey ones to find, especially in issue 1 in good condition. Issue 285 in, good condition or still sealed, that's one that you really, could be paying a little bit for. So, protecting the magazines, you could get these little plastic magazine protectors that I have and you see on some of my magazines here. I'm currently in the process of making custom-made magazine holders for all the magazines, as you can see here. I got like sticker paper and I printed out the years and the logos that represented, each year of the magazine. And I'm currently, in the process of putting that together, but it's going to take up a lot of room and a lot of magazine holders to be bought. Also, if you're going for a full collection, you can choose whether or not you want the magazines to have all the posters and or inserts in them. A lot of the magazines came with posters back in the day. I'd say about a good 75% of my collection has posters in them. I'm not sure entirely what ones do or don't, just because I have a lot of them and I haven't gone through every single one of them to see what's in there or not. There are also the Nintendo Power Index little inserts that they included in some magazines. They were kind of just like a checklist of, what covers were on what games were included in what issues. They stopped doing them after a while, but it was still cool for them to do it here and there. And then also in the little baggies that the magazine would either ship in or you'd find them in at the store, sometimes they'd come with these Nintendo Power Supplies catalog books where you could order a bunch of stuff like toys, soundtracks, shirts. I really wish I was able to get some of this stuff and or have my parents get some of it when I was little, because there was just so much cool stuff that they did through those catalogs that you really don't see anywhere now, and if you want something from it, they could go for a lot of money. They also eventually sent out like promotional VHSs featuring specific games that were coming out. As you can see, some of the B-roll footage on this video are from those VHSs. They did one like based on Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong Country, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, a whole ton of them, and they're really cool to have. I wouldn't, you know, consider having these for like a full collection, I'd say, but they're just cool to have, you know, and they're very well documented, and they're on YouTube if you actually want to go see them. That's where I got this footage from, because it was just, you know, it's free to use, and it's kind of preserving more of the legacy of Nintendo Power. And then right here, this is a letter from Reggie that was included in issue 283. This letter from him is informing the readers that the magazine is coming to an end, and just thanking, you know, everybody for being a reader for all those years. They also did one on the last issue. I don't have this one in person. I'm looking into getting it sometime soon. But it was basically just a thank you and a farewell little insert from just the magazine as a whole. So in terms of what I have left to do for my collection, personally, I want to get all the variants for the later issues. So I have both the newsstand and the subscriber variants for them. That's going to be something I work on going into the future. I don't really have a, you know, time frame on when I could complete that, but that's just something I want to work towards. There are some issues probably that I want to get better copies of, but, you know, I'm not too worried about having everything in mint condition. Besides really issue 1, I do want to look into getting a better issue 1 sometime, because I have a beautiful issue 2 and issue 3, but my issue 1's beat to hell. Alright guys, that is going to be it for me this time. I know this video was probably a very oddly edited mess. It's kind of just something I'm winging and going off of, but this was something I've been wanting to do for a very long time, talking about my entire collection. If you guys have any memories of this magazine growing up, let me know in the comments. Let me know what your favorite issue is, what your favorite cover is, and if you guys have a full collection of your own. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all very soon, because starting tomorrow, I'm going to be going through every single one of these issues, looking at the magazine, not entirely reading through them, but just kind of flipping through them, seeing if anything catches my eye. So that's going to start tomorrow, probably at 12 p.m. EST, so look forward to that, because that's going to be something that's on my channel for a long time. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you all very soon.